Like, what would your encouragement be to those guys listening to the show to get to the next level?
I think with social media, they expect it to be easier than it should and faster than it should. And so everyone's like, oh, you came out of nowhere. I'm like, no, I've been doing this for 17 years. I've paid a lot of money for coaches, mentors. I paid Alex Hormozi $130,000 with them for a day. But I've done that throughout my whole career. I've always had coaches. So people have the information that you need. You just got to go find them and pay them for it. So always be leveling up your leadership, leveling up yourself, invest highly into yourself to break past those ceilings. And again, it just takes longer than what you think, and it's going to be harder than what you think. It's costing me more money than you think. So just stick to the plan and just stay after it. And if you've been doing it you're like, oh, I've been doing this for 15 years. Well, you can always learn something new every day. And that's kind of like one of my values is like, I must learn something new every day. So I constantly read and listen to podcasts, at least an hour a day. It's not always the same thing, but just invest in yourself and stay after it.
What's up, everybody? This episode is sponsored by ExitWise. If you're a business owner thinking about selling your company, whether that's now or years down the road, you need to know what your business is actually worth and how to maximize that exit. That's exactly what ExitWise does. They help you prepare, position, and ultimately sell your business by assembling a world-class team of M&A experts around you, guiding you from valuation all the way through closing. If you want to know what your business is really worth and how to increase that number before you sell, go check out exitwise.com and get ahead of it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Big Hitters Podcast. And Jonas, I've been following you on Facebook, man. I love the hyper focus on pest control. And I love the podcast. You're a pro podcaster, having pest control people onto the podcast. And then obviously you're an industry vet with just blue collar service based business in general. Man, tell us a little bit of your story. Like, tell us like how you got started and how we wound up where we are today.
Sure. So I'll make it pretty quick for you. So I started off in lawn care. My mentor said that, we're going to have many acts, and lawn care was my first act, but it was a great business to get into. Did that for like 13, 14 years, whatever it's been now. And did some landscaping, snow removal way up here in the north, got a lot of snow. And then, so I did that. We were like around $3 million in revenue. And then COVID hit. And so we had some commercial contracts that got us through winter. Pretty much we're breaking even. And then COVID hits and we get shut down, basically. We had some pest control clients, but very few, like 100. We had some fertilization weed control clients, probably like 600 or 700 there. But we were pretty much deemed inessential. In Michigan, it's just a weird time. And I don't come from the door knocking world, never knocked the door in my life, other than when I first started on, hanging door hangers, things like that, and just talking to people. But my back was against the wall. Did a lot of YouTube University, taught myself how to knock doors. So I drove to Wisconsin. I leave here like 5 a.m. from my house, went down to Wisconsin, started knocking doors. And at that time, my company's called Turf Badger. And so I was going to go sell lawn care to fertilization weed control, basically, to people in Wisconsin because we could work there. The first door that I ever knocked, they had a wasp nest problem and a ground wasp nest, and their dog was allergic to them. Not going to lie, walked up the door, about threw up, walked away, had to reset, take a deep breath, walk back up, and sold my first door ever. And I didn't have any contracts in place or agreements in place. Didn't have a good CRM in place at the time, but I was like, and I was literally just selling whatever I could sell just to get some cash in my pocket. And so it wasn't reoccurring at the time. I was just selling whatever I could. I think I sold like 3 or 4 more that day, and I was like, I could do this. And then, then I brought in, 6 months later, I think I'd sold like 400 or 500 accounts, learned some few things along the way. And then at the end of 2021, I had 2 companies side by side because the other company started rolling again. Yeah, like in June or whatever I have it. Yeah, somewhere around June. And then at the end of those 2 years, I was like, I have 2 companies side by side. And I saw the scalability of pest control. And just there's less overhead, less equipment, pay people more. It's that kind of a niche industry to get into because you have to have a license, things like that. And I saw the writing on the wall, and I fire sold my lawn care company. Wouldn't recommend doing that to anyone else that's listening, but it's just I knew what I had to do. Like there's some strategy there.
Just like exiting or
yeah, like I was really just to shut it down. Like I didn't care, but I knew at the top of my head like, okay, we're doing $3 million in revenue. Let's just go with 15% profits. So I was like, if I can make $300,000 in my new company over the next 12 months, would it be worth selling this thing, just get rid of it? And to me, that was yes. I knew I could do it. So I ended up selling that company that year. And then I think that first year in Turf Badger, quote unquote, I think we did like 600,000. And then that next year we did like 1.5 right afterwards. So that's kind of where it went from there. And then so went all in on pest control, and now we're at 20 locations 5 years later, and we're like last year at our peak we're like 168 employees, so we're rolling.
That's amazing, dude. It's interesting because when I connected with you on Facebook, all of a sudden Facebook is suggesting all these pest control guys to me as friends. And I guess I just had never realized how many flipping people were in pest control, but it's like the biggest little industry I've ever seen before.
Yeah, it's that's what I talk about a lot on my YouTube channel too. It's just like it's a small niche company. There's like, I think I ran the math there before. I think there's like 40,000. I could be wrong. 40 or 400. Can't remember that, like 1,000 companies. And like in lawn care where there's like 800,000 or no, 800,000. Sorry, so it's probably like 400,000, 800,000, something like that. But yeah, it's a small niche industry, but it's super high profit. Lots of private equity, lots of sophisticated people in the industry. Yeah, it's definitely a good one. It's been going forever. Like the person that had my podcast today, they started their business in 1938. They're in 50 different countries. They've been through the Great Depression. They've been through COVID. They've been through, 2008 when the market collapsed. So it's obviously a really good industry to be in.
This episode is brought to you by Pierre Tax and Accounting, led by CPA Eric Pierre, a seasoned accounting and tax expert with years of experience helping individuals and businesses navigate complex financial landscapes. Whether you need personal tax planning, business tax strategy, bookkeeping, or financial planning support, Eric and his team are committed to helping you protect and grow your financial future with clarity and confidence. To get expert guidance you can trust, check out Pierre Tax and Accounting at pierreaccounting.com. This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team. Man, I'm trying to think about the direction I want to go with this podcast, and I feel like having someone like you on the show with such a wealth of knowledge, you've interviewed them, you've been a part of the space, like, let's just take a moment and just talk about like what are the really good pest control companies doing, and then like what do you see as like maybe some pitfalls of some of the companies that are on the not quite on the up and up.
Sure. I would say the ones that are, I wouldn't say that they don't really know what they're doing. I wouldn't say that. Like the industry has evolved over the last 10, 15 years. Not that I would know, but I just talked to a lot of people, obviously, and bought some companies along the way. And a lot of the old operators do like 1 or 2 treatments a year, or they'll do like a early spring and a late fall, or they just do like one service at a time. They'll sell one time versus reoccurring. And so that's a lot of, and then a lot of people do like wildlife too. And so a lot of these wildlife operators, they grow like a good business, $1-2 million in revenue. And then every single month, every single year, they had to start back over from ground zero, right? So I really like the model of reoccurring revenue. So you sell a customer, you want them to stay, 3.5 to 6.5 years. So the CAC to LTV is really good. And that's just where I see a lot of the pitfalls, I would say, is that people are just not, they're selling more one-time work than reoccurring. And I would say on the other side of that, the really good companies, they're growing strong. Lots of a good ratio between that split between one-time versus reoccurring. So like an 80-20, 90-10 split, or even 100% reoccurring. I would say that's what the better companies are doing. A lot of people have moved over like the subscription billing monthly, which is good and bad. I found, through trial and error that highest, and over like $500 million in revenue that was done. The highest churn rate is monthly billing. The second highest churn rate is the time of service, and the lowest churn rate is prepay. So we transitioned a lot to prepay and then bill as you go. So I feel like 5 years ago, subscription really hit hard, and everyone kind of was moving to the subscription model, like Netflix. Then they started coming out with apps where they automatically just like cancel all their subscriptions, and so I just think like people are kind of getting smart, and the way people are buying is starting to change a little bit, So that probably like what I would say, like that's what the better companies are doing, switching more to a recurring model. Not that these other companies are bad, they just don't know what they don't know.
This episode is brought to you by 10x Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10x Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker. They only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by Rakowski Law Firm. If you're a business owner or have built a level of wealth, but you don't have your estate plan dialed in, you're exposed. Rakowski Law Firm helps families and business owners protect their assets, avoid probate, and make sure everything transfers exactly how it should. This isn't just paperwork, it's a real strategy to protect your legacy. If you haven't looked at your plan in a while or don't have one, go to rakowskilawfirm.com. You seem to be a guy who is delegating and buying back your time. You're doing some podcasting now. Your company has grown quite a bit.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is really interesting in the blue collar space, and one of the things that my company does is virtual assistant staffing.
Yeah.
Talk about how you've leveraged virtual assistants, and are you seeing more and more blue collar guys like start to hire overseas staff?
It's starting to be a thing for sure. I'd say we probably have 5 to 7 VAs at this point. A lot of AI is doing a lot of that side of the world too. But customer facing stuff, like we have people that VAs that even do our payroll for us. So yeah, we leverage it a lot, and obviously it helps out everyone across the board because you can hire 3 VAs for the price of one American employee. I'll hear people say like, yeah, well, you should be paying them way more, blah, 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 and they're worth way more. But they're making a really good living where they are. Like that's what they don't understand. They're making like average wage over there is like $1 or $2 an hour. We're paying them whatever it is, 14 to or 12 to 15 bucks an hour. So they're making really good money. And they show up to work every single day. They're always in a good mood, and they're willing to work, and they're eager.
Yep. Preach it.
Yeah. Yes. So like I'm all for it. Obviously we have a lot of employees that live in the States too. We have a massive sales team. We have a massive inside sales team, lots of CSRs. All of our C-suite teams here too. So yeah, we definitely leverage it for sure.
Yeah. Where are most of your clients coming from? Are you doing a lot with paid ads? Are you doing referral campaigns? How are you acquiring most of your clients?
Yeah. So the way I look at marketing is like, it's a giant wheel, right? And every single spoke on the wheel is a piece of marketing. So that's every door direct mail, postcards, door hangers, LSA, Google search. You have, Facebook, meta ads. Then we have our door-to-door team. We have inside sales. We have B2B team. So, and then like your brand, in my opinion, is the hub, right? So without your brand, nothing else matters. So brand is the hub. All the sales channels are your spokes, and if one's missing, they just don't work. So my opinion, we got to do a little bit of everything. Social media, of course, too. We're doing lots of video, lots of content. Obviously, I have my own YouTube channel. Then we have like the Pest YouTube channel. We have TikTok and all that stuff. So we do a little bit of everything. I think you just got to be on there just to show up, show you have a brand.
And have you found that there's one that has been more impactful than another?
As far as a customer acquisition standpoint, Google's probably our lowest. Facebook's easier, in my opinion, to scale. And then door-to-door side's the most expensive, but the fastest.
Yeah. 2 questions for you. What's going really well in your company right now, and what are some challenges you guys are facing?
Going really well right now. We have a lot going really, really well. We have a really awesome team. I would not be where I'm at without them. They're killing it. We have some killers that work for us. What's challenging right now? There's challenges every single day. For a while, we've been super lucky. There's always challenges. So like, it's trying to think of off the top of my head. We opened up 5 locations at once this year, which is a challenge, right? It's really making us put in a lot of work. So, my C-suite team's working super hard, and it's not just like 9 to 5. It is 12, 15, 16, 17 hours a day. And I'm still right there with them. Yes, I stopped the podcast here and there, but that's just part of building the brand. So there's definitely been some challenges there, making sure we have the right people in the right seats at those locations. But for the most part, things are going pretty good. But I'm sure I'll get kicked in the face here shortly. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's just when. But so far, but again, it's like it's just now hitting spring here. It's like we just launched 2 weeks ago, so this is we're just getting into the thick of things.
Yeah. Let's talk about the podcast for a second.
Sure.
What are some things that you were just saying before we hopped on that you have tried to maintain complete independence? You don't, there's no revenue associated with it. It's just a genuine like curiosity, interviewing founders, owners.
Yeah. The podcast just started because I was in like a coaching group, and my mentor sold his company, and the coaching group went along with it. So he just had basically like a
non-compete.
Yeah, non-compete in there, and he just couldn't do it for like a couple of years. So he went off on the world traveling for like 3 years, and now he's back. But we just kind of wanted to stay together. And someone's like, "Hey, someone should start a podcast," and no one did it. So finally, I was like, "I'll just start one." His thing was Lawn Care Millionaire, and so I was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna call it Pest Control Millionaire." So that's how it started. I eventually transitioned everything in just to my name because Alex Hormozi told me to just brand my personal brand. So I did that, and then so it just started off as fun. I was literally on Zoom. Like, this basement wasn't finished yet. None of this equipment was here. Literally sitting here on a folding table, my laptop open on Zoom, recording my buddies, and that's how it started. Yeah. And then over time, just with consistency, and just I have a big network where I feel like I've done a really good job in my career. Just put myself out there, talking to other people, and I grew a big network. So I had a list of like 250 people right off the rip that I could interview. And then now they slowly, over time, like podcasts probably, if it depends, you ask, the biggest podcast in our industry. And so now people are reaching out to me, have some heavy hitters, like I said on earlier. Everyone just knows who the podcast is. So like they'll come to me, and if I reach out to them, they've heard of me before, like, oh, hell yeah, I'll do this. So I just did it for fun. And like I was telling you earlier, I probably deny about 6 figures plus a year on people who just want to sponsor the podcast. And I'm not saying that forever I'll do that, but as of right now, I didn't want to feel owned. I want to be able to say whatever I want to say. And I just don't want to, I've been on so many podcasts where it's just a pitch fest constantly. Although I can see the other side of it, because I have friends who have podcasts that do really well. The flip side of it is like if you have a really big brand backing you up, it just makes you that much more professional. Yeah. My shows aren't scripted. I don't give them questions beforehand. Like the two that we were talking to earlier, obviously I got in with their team. They asked me what I want to talk about. I said this is like the format. It's just like, hey, if we're gonna sit down and have dinner, this is how it's gonna roll. We're just gonna have a conversation. And both of them absolutely loved it. Like, so it's one of their favorite podcasts. Maybe they tell this to everyone. I don't know. So it's one of their favorite podcasts they've done. I didn't have any like pre-scripted questions. I just went off the rip, kind of like we're doing here. And they both landed really well. So that's just kind of how it started. And then, like I said, I just kept doing it. And showing up every single week, kind of like anything else in life. Just got to stay consistent, right? And so I usually record 1 or 2 podcasts a week. I think we're closing in on 200 episodes. I've been in a couple of years now. So yeah, man, it's been a fun ride. I enjoy it. The coolest part is I get to meet people like yourself. I get to talk with business owners every single day, or at least twice a week. I get to learn what's working for them, what's going bad for them, like things that can help them. The whole time, my listeners get to listen in and get to learn along the way. And so I just share my journey. So hopefully that one day, it helps other people.
Yeah. Well, when I started my podcast a year ago, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, me either.
It has single-handedly become probably the number one way I've grown my business.
Yeah.
Without like needing to try, it kind of feels like, wow, I get to have meetings with business owners. I get to just ask them what makes them tick. And so even if you have like 30 subscribers, it's still like incredibly fun.
Yeah. And then like the flip side of that, because I'm just transparent, that's just who I am. Like I'd be lying to you. Like my personal brand has grown massively through the podcast. Yep. And so like there's this event called Pest World. And last time I was at it was like 3-4 years ago. And I walked in and someone was like, "Hey, you're the TikTok guy." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, you're the TikTok guy." And I was like, that's the first time I heard it. It's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Obviously what I'm doing is working." And then I went to Pest World this year in Florida. And I'm only telling you this because this is what happened. Yeah, I walked into Pest World for 4 hours and I didn't move 3 feet. I had a line of people coming up to talk to me.
Wow.
And so when I got home, they're like, "Hey, did you love it?" And I said, the only reason that I loved it is because that I knew that the podcast and what I'm doing online is making an impact.
That's so cool.
But it's just showing up every single day and just keep doing your thing. It's cool. And it's the thing that I never thought would have happened ever. It's made recruiting easier. And I'd never thought ever that we would actually get pest control clients from the podcast. Ever. Never thought that. So people just like search our brand, find the podcast, listen to an episode, and they sign up because they listen to the episode. I was like,
yeah,
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting to me. Like people are like, "Oh man, he has a podcast. He must be like real legit." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. And obviously we have a really big company too, so we're pretty legit. But this is just another form of marketing, you know.
Yeah. Amen. Love that. Yeah. Not to exclude any of the other guests you've had on the show, but are there like one or two episodes that was like off the walls, like this is crazy, kind of like ones that stick out to you? Just stories or guests or.
I've had I've had a couple of my mentors on that everyone just knows in the industry, so those went really good. Some people with really big companies that have a big social media presence, those ones did really, really well. And it's funny because like the ones that you think like, "Oh, this one's going to be awesome," like maybe they don't do as well. But then the people are in the background, like they have their team sharing it. And so of course they do good. So yeah, off the top of my head, I think the next two are going to be really, really good too. And we don't promote them. We just kind of let them roll out, you know? So I think that the next two will be really good as well. You know, they're both $500 million companies. They'll be pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's something that gets you fired up that we haven't talked about today?
Something that gets me fired up today is watching, this sounds super cliche, but it's just honest God truth where I'm at in business. Like watching my guys win is super cool. I've had some managers that are building new houses that started with me from scratch, from day one, sitting down in this basement around a table, that are sales guys, small equity partners that are absolutely crushing life. One's got 6 locations, said he's had 2 kids since then, bought vehicles, built a brand new house. There's all kinds of stories like that. That's really cool. And then of course my kids, like watching them succeed. I love being a dad. I love watching them win. My oldest daughter is a killer wrestler. She's a sophomore, plays 5th in the state this year. Travel a lot for wrestling. My 2 younger girls are really 10 and 6, and they're in dance and gymnastics. So it's always fun watching them. Super good athletes. So those things get me fired up. Wrestling gets me fired up pretty good.
That's awesome. You were a wrestler?
Yeah, I was, a long time ago. I'm washed up now.
Wrestlers always make the best CrossFitters. I always get my ass kicked by former wrestlers.
Yeah, and people who have never wrestled before, they just don't know. They have no idea what they're up against. They have no idea. I don't care if you're big or small and you get a wrestler in front of you. It's tough. Yeah, and that's just it's super cool to watch my daughter because of course guys are stronger, and half the time she's wrestling boys, and she had a 60% winning average against boys too. Yeah, but just not any boy can grab her and throw her around because she knows what she's doing. Like she'll put up a really good fight, you know? Yeah. It's just a good skill for all of them to learn. And my second daughter, my middle child, she started wrestling this year. So yeah, it's fun. That's good. He's fired up. And as far as, of course, sales and marketing, that gets me fired up. Watching the leaderboard is fun to watch. Yeah, it's cool.
And then you tell me about your book that you got right next to you there.
Oh yeah, so Zip Code Kings. Basically, it's how to grow a pest control business from scratch. But it's not honestly it's not just pest control. Like it's any service industry that you want to grow. Like from day one, how to scale is through the book. Someone asked me if I wanted to write a book, and I told them no. They're like, "No, we really think that you should." I'm like, "I just don't have the time. I don't have the energy. My number one focus is Pest Badger." And like, here, I'll tell you what. I'll do all the work. I'll make this super easy for you. I'll come to your studio. We'll record everything through your studio. I'll do all the work behind it. and I'll launch it with you. I'm like, okay, that sounds better. So yeah, that's how it came about. Someone's like, hey, you're an author. I'm like, well, I don't feel like an author, but it's like he came here and just, again, transparent. He asked me a bunch of questions right in front of the camera, just like this. And I answered all the questions. Took I think we took about 12 to 14 hours a day, 3 days, 3.5 days, something like that. And he took all my videos and just basically transcribed them all. He already had like the questions laid out. He already had like all the pages, chapters laid out. He just asked me questions, and then he transcribed that and put it into a book format. So I can't take credit for all the work behind it, although it's my information from my head in there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't, again, just one of those things, right? Just didn't ever expect anything to come of it. I was like, I think we'll sell 50 books. I didn't know. I had no idea. Now we sold over 1,000, which again, I would have never guessed. And it's just launched this year. So now I have 2 more ideas for 2 more books that I want to talk about, which is super fun. And so, yeah, it's been pretty cool. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a kind of like a lost leader, right? And it obviously helps out my personal brand. And yeah, it's been a fun ride.
That's awesome, man. What's one piece? So let's say I have like a $1 to $3 million pest control guy. That there seems to be a ton of glass ceilings in the home service space. Mm-hmm. Like, what would your encouragement be to those guys listening to the show to get to the next level?
I think that with social media, they expect it to be easier than it should and faster than it should. And so everyone's like, oh, you came out of nowhere. I'm like, no, I've been doing this for 17 years. I've paid a lot of money for coaches, mentors. I paid Alex Hormozi $130,000 with them for a day. But I've done that throughout my whole career. I've always had coaches. So people have the information that you need. You just got to go find them and pay them for it. Mm-hmm. So always be leveling up your leadership, leveling up yourself, invest highly into yourself to break past those ceilings. And again, it just takes longer than what you think. And it's going to be harder than what you think. It's costing me more money than you think. So just stick to the plan and just stay after it. And if you've been doing it you're like, oh, I've been doing this for 15 years. Well, you can always learn something new every day. And that's kind of like one of my values is like, I must learn something new every day. So I constantly read and listen to podcasts, at least an hour a day. It's not always the same thing, but it just invest in yourself and stay after it.
What was it like sitting with Alex Hormozi for a day? What was the biggest burning question you had for him? What did he help you solve?
Man, there's a lot there. He helped me solve a lot. But I'd say that obviously he's super sharp. What you see on social media is who he really is. Like, it's just who he is in general. Super funny, charismatic, smart as hell. And he sees the insides of multiple business from every single industry all day long. So he's pretty quick to solve them. And he's been through the big ones too. The way that the level that he holds his team to is pretty incredible. Like, the way that they say hello has been trained thousands of times. Like, they knew my name before I even walked in there. And they knew everything about my company. They did so much research on me. Like, the level, his team is absolutely incredible too. So that's probably one of the biggest things that it taught me is like a person at Alex's level, like he hires the best of the best. They're trained in the best way. And it's pretty incredible.
Huh. And then what was it like? Was there one thing that you went in there wanting to solve, or was it just more comprehensive?
More comprehensive. There was more than just one. So basically they did a whole big strategy session just for me. And we basically spent an hour on just me. And there was, 7 other companies in there. We got to spend an hour in. Some were home service, some were SaaS, some were just online stuff. And so like we got to hear a little bit of how we do everything. And it's cool because he'd be talking to another service industry like cleaning and give you some ideas for your own company. So he helped me solve a lot. I don't think we were far off, but he definitely helped a lot, which is really
that's awesome.
Scale, like he's obviously really good at ads. So one of the things we talked about a lot was scaling ads, which is really cool. Talk about marketing agencies, that was cool. Sales in general was really cool. There was so much we talked about. I don't think there's just one thing.
Yeah. Jonas, I have like a million more questions, and this has just been such a fascinating like podcast, man. I've loved having you on the show,
Yeah.
and I want to be respectful of your time. What if people wanted to learn more about what you're up to? Where can they go to find you?
I'm pretty much easy to find, as you guys probably all know. Like pretty quick to respond, but Instagram, Facebook, just look up Jonas Olson. YouTube channel, Jonas Olson. Just search my name and I'll probably come up. The book will probably come up. Yeah, and then I have a Facebook group too. That one of those things like I should just start a Facebook group, and now there's 3,500 pest control operators in there that I get to connect with, and it's a valuable source of information there, not just for me, but for all the operators in general. And
Yeah,
again, I have my pulse on so many things that are going on in the industry, which is pretty cool. And
yeah,
I get to meet so many cool people through these networks, and I feel like luck has a lot to play with it. Like I just do. Like yeah, I could pat myself on the back for putting myself in those positions to be there, but there's just some things that are just bewildering to me, like how they ever came about and like how I got so
yeah,
lucky. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like the harder that I worked, the luckier I got too. You know.
yeah. Well, man, it's been incredible having you on the show. I feel like I'm, getting to hang out with a legend. Um, and then I think about what Alex said, riches are in the niches, man. Like
Yeah.
I like never would have thought that pest control, one of my buddies, he does marketing for shed companies. And I'm like, how many shed companies could there possibly be? He's like, bro, like a bajillion,
Yeah,
literally.
I mean, I have friends that do decks that that's
Yeah.
all they do is decks. I
Yeah.
have friends that do pools. That's all they do is pools. I have friends that
Yeah.
just do sheds,
Yeah.
saunas. Like, yeah, their riches are definitely in the niches. That's one thing that Alex says all the time about niche slap you, which is really cool.
Yeah. Niche laughing. Yeah.
Because
I
like we
love
were
that.
kind of doing everything too. Like, but I feel like that's when most home service industries start, right? We were doing
Yeah.
landscaping, lawn care, snow removal, like cutting
Yeah.
down trees. Like it didn't matter. I was just trying to get revenue.
Yeah.
And then we slowly went down to just doing one or two things and got really
Yeah.
good at those. And I came from a really small town too. My hometown is 13,000 people, so it's super hard to scale anyway here. And then
Yeah.
a lot of people just couldn't afford what we were already doing. So yeah, niched down, and I felt like I was always pretty good at what I did. I was a good operator, and I just didn't have the vehicle to take me where I need to go. Now I found that vehicle, and we're rolling.
Yeah. I love that. Um, You know what I would love to do? You don't have to do this with me, but man, I have been having a hard time convincing these blue collar guys to hire VAs.
Yeah,
Like, help me over. Like, I don't know. Speak to those guys. Like, you know so many pest control guys, so many blue collar guys. Like, kick them in the butt for me, dude. Just tell them why it's going to change their life. I just don't know what else to say at this point to some of these guys.
yeah, and again, every business is different. So give me like a good example. Like where are they at in revenue? How many employees do they have currently?
My ideal client is the $3 to $10 million builder. The 20 to 30 to $40 million guys get it.
Yeah.
The under 1 million, I find that it's too hard to convince them to do full time. And so I generally won't meet with someone unless they're over 3 million, depending on the industry, because like a $3 million builder is not really, that's not a whole heck of a lot, but a $3 million coach is like balling, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, but in general, I've pretty much set it at three, and it's this. I'm a financial advisor by trade, so I'm like, I don't know what other security measures you would have to take that I didn't have to take,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
FINRA, SEC, bro, like you just like we can have them clock in and out of secure facility, but it's all the limiting beliefs around the accent, security, the capability, and I also own an AI agency, and I'm like, dude, AI cannot block and tackle for you. It
Right.
cannot prevent the angry client
Agreed.
from calling you,
That's what
right?
I think. I think anything forward facing, in my opinion, this could change in the future. Anything that's customer facing should still be
Yeah,
answered by humans. Anything that is billing, simple things like that. Yeah, they could just have AI do it. Questions online, of course, anything like that. And as far as the VA goes, yeah, I think like and I don't know your construction industry super well, but I'd say like $1 to $3 million in revenue is probably pretty small for a construction company. They're still probably super hands on. They're probably doing a lot of the heavy lifting themselves. Still have a few employees and like this VA can do anything for you. They could even like as long as you have the systems and processes with ChatGPT these days in software. Like you could control, like when you see them, you can give them login access to your CRM. You can give them roles and responsibilities that they can and can't access. You can give them scripts for everything. Like they could literally order your product if they needed to. Like they could do all your routing, whatever. Like I don't know your world too well, but there's so many things that they can do, like answering emails, which AI can do a lot too, and put it all in one inbox. But yeah, like these guys can, like VA can do so much, like, and they're there, like answer phones for you. Because like, again, like a small operator is still probably answering the majority of his phone calls, or they're all going to voicemail. Well, what do people do? Like people in the trades probably too, like they want to talk to someone. And whether you're good at answering your phone or leaving a voicemail and calling them back later, like the odds of them waiting for you to get back to them for a couple of days, probably slim to none. They've already talked to someone else or 3 other people. At least went down Google. So just getting that person, set an appointment for you. It could that one hire could just change your business by answering phones, answering emails. So, I mean, Amen. I could go on all day, but what they can do. But yeah, I mean, for the amount of money that it costs you, a couple $100 a week to have someone answer your phones live, like it's worth it to me.
Totally. Well, Jonas, I can't thank you enough for coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
I hope one day I'm a pest control millionaire just like you.
I hope so too.
And yeah, man, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, anytime, man.